Hey everybody, this is the Fusion 7 Healing Mystery School Show over here on Periscope and at my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou. How are you today? Lovely to have you aboard. So today we're looking at pitfalls and disappointments to do with energy work. A lot of us are on this path, aren't we? A path of healing, a path of transformation, so on and so forth. So what we want to do is really learn how to take precautions and know how to guard ourselves from different possibilities that can happen to us, things that we can come across, which is really very common. How you going, everyone? Thanks for joining. It's really very common, and of course through experience over the years of facilitating this kind of work and teaching, I'm going to share with you certain things that we need to look out for, certain things that we can avoid in order to make the path a little bit smoother, because after all that is the point of doing it, is it not? So here we go. If we look at it from the perspective of healing to start with, it usually goes in a way that we can go in with stars in our eyes, we could feel enchanted, special, we can feel unique or different, which is a beautiful feeling, and it is a wonderful thing to experience, of course. But we need to be careful that we kind of don't lose our grounding and our footing in a way. As transformation appears, we may feel that we are more privileged than others, and this could lead to an inflation of the ego. So we need to be very careful of that. It doesn't make us more powerful, and it doesn't make us more special. What's up, Albert? Thanks for joining today. So the mind and the personality may actually take a discourse, instead of going like in the direction that we want it to, it may take a discourse for the worst instead of for the better. And I refer to this as the idol, guru or celebrity syndrome. This is what can happen. We kind of might think that we are at a higher status perhaps than anybody and everybody else in some cases. Another part of this is when we're working with ourselves, or when we're working with somebody who facilitates, another healer for example. We may see some benefits of the results that we wish to achieve. But of course, what can happen, and I've seen this happen over and over again, guys, is become addicted to false expectations. What's up, Mariana? What's going on? So these addictions, they're very, very real, and they're no less powerful, let's say, than any other addictions that we may be coming across. So here's a few examples of what these addictions may be when we are on this kind of healing trip or healing road. You can transform or manifest absolutely anything. Hey Greek 007, how are you? Now, it's not that you can't manifest anything, you absolutely can, but we also need to understand that in a lot of cases it does take work, it does take practice, it does take dedication, and it does take an element of devotion to be able to do this. It doesn't just happen at a snap of your fingers. Here's another one. Healing is instantaneous. Well, again, I'm not saying that it can't be. I've experienced it in session. I've been in many sessions with clients where healings have been instantaneous, but it does not mean that it is always going to happen that way, or that it is going to frequently be happening that way. We need to know that it is a possibility, but we don't want to be depending on it happening in that way. Another real important one, hey Dimitri, what's going on, is when some modalities will sell you time. They say to you, for example, in just 3 days, in just one session, in just 30 seconds, you can change your life. Now, this is like selling a specific amount of time. Now again, hi, how you doing? There's nothing wrong with doing that, but I think that it's a little bit unrealistic and a little bit fake. I would say, and what I do say is, in this 7-day course, for example, like if I'm talking about my 7-day foundation course, in this 7-day course, you are going to be able to experience this and this, yeah? But I won't say that in those 7 days that you are going to have a radical, complete life transformation. Although, once again, it is possible and it does happen. I just like to be a little bit more honest in what it is like the higher possibilities of what it is that you will be taking from that specific amount of time, whether it's one session, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's one course, to be a little bit more honest about that. So be careful that you are not being sold, for example, into an amount of time that's telling you that you are going to have your whole life being radically transformed in that small amount of time. It can be possible, but it's probably a lower percentage where that will actually happen. I would say that it is a start of a radical transformation. It is the beginning, you know, of a large overhaul in your life, but it can't happen, you know, in just seconds. What's up, Siddhartha? How you doing, my love? So be careful with that one. Now, another thing that may happen here is experiencing a great flow with your transformation process, and then all of a sudden you hit a crisis, like a rock wall in your life, right? And you may be tempted here to blame your approach for that. It could be, for example, that the approach has run its course, or it could be actually taking you to the next level, or it could be that it's because the approach is erroneous. So in this instance, I would say that you need to really become quite refined in being able to understand exactly what the problem is, and to be very careful not to blame it on external circumstance. Okay, so that's really, really important. Now, we could have the same scenario again where you're having a great flow with your transformation process, then you experience a crisis in your life once again, and then all of a sudden you doubt. Yeah, you doubt everything that involves energy, anything that involves metaphysics. You begin to doubt the whole thing and wonder if you've been wasting all of your time and perhaps your money in some of these approaches that you have invested your soul even in, you know. Now, what I would say to you in this instance is, again, you need to be able to make a good discernment rather, of what exactly it is that's going on. Is it the approach that you are using? Is it because it's run its course? Is it because you need to be doing something else? So you need to be doing like a lot of self-questioning. Enjoy your journey. What's up this morning? Thanks for joining, my darling. So, you know, you've got to be very careful not to fall into the trap of the blame game, and not to doubt your journey, because nothing that you have ever learned until this point is in vain. All of it is in good use, thanks to you. So it is very, very important to be able to have that discernment before you start pointing fingers. So the bottom line is here, Truth Crew, is that we need to be very careful not to be entirely sucked in to esoterica or occultism, but by the same token and parallel, we need to be careful not to get sucked back in to the corruption of mainstream solutions only, because your answers will lie probably in both, in mainstream solutions, but also in the esoteric energy work too. So we need a fine balance of both. But what I can say as a conclusion to all of this is that the bottom line is that most of the answers will lay where they cannot be seen. So we need to take all of that into account. And I would say to you also that if you are having any difficulties, thanks for sharing on. And if you do find this show of use to yourselves, or perhaps anyone else who is into an esoteric path that may find this of use, then I do invite you to share it on with your community and your friends. And what I wanted to say is that I do facilitate a lot of people who are quite deeply, into their esoteric work and their spiritual healing, or their energy work. Hey Maya, how are you, my darling? And they do hit a roadblock of confusion. So I do facilitate courses where I help people, not courses, but sessions where I help people to navigate them to be aligned to what it is that they should be doing. So we're given insights as to what it is that they should actually be doing, guidelines to help them get onto the right track, if you like. So this is what we are able to do. So if you do need some help or assistance with that, then don't hesitate to be in contact with me. You can have a session with me to help guide you into the right direction of what it is that you should be doing and if it is the best course of action for you. And you can do that if you contact me at fusion7healing@gmail.com. You can also check out my work at fusion7healing.com and check out some of the courses and the sessions and the kind of work that I do there. My book, The Miracle Frequency, is available on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle. Thanks very much for joining me today, and don't forget to follow here on Periscope. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou, and give us a like. And you can comment over there, and I will answer any of your queries on any of the short shows that I have over there for you. So thanks very much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will be with you again very, very soon, perhaps on Friday, I think, at a similar time to this one. So until then, be good. If you can't be good, be careful, and don't forget, may the truth always be the guiding force that is with you. Imaste be ye. It means we are primary source. Ciao for now.